Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. I'm doing another video from the house. I'm going to try to take videos from as many different various angles in the house this weekend as possible. It'll be a little bit of a reminder for me when I've left this place because I'm ready to go, for the move, ready for the next chapter, but this has been a good little place. It's been a good 3 years. I may do a recap video on the past 3 years and like what I've been doing, what I've gone through, and where I feel like I've come from, and where I'm ending up in that time for the next transition. But anyhow, today's another video. You know, I've kind of been talking a lot to the beginners lately. Now everybody can watch this, but this is going to speak specifically to the beginners, so remember that. And as always, this advice can be used if you're out here watching this and you're new to this lifestyle, or if you're just new to a high-carb vegan lifestyle, a plant-based lifestyle. Apply the same principles, you know, whether you're eating cooked vegan, high-carb vegan, or whatever, because I'm not judgmental at all on that. I'm not the raw is law type, and you can usually apply most of the things I'm talking about to either case. But for the people that are new raw vegans, as I've mentioned over and over and over, you can kind of get overwhelmed when you first get into things because there's so much information out there. There's so many people delivering their version of this information out there that it's just like, you know, until you kind of get a base and you have until you've done it for a while and you have your personal experience, how you feel your body to rely on partially, you're totally going on other people's information. People talk about, you know, listening to your body all the time, and I don't think people really understand that. When I talk about listening to your body, I talk about listening to your body in an intelligent way. I mean, you know, and there's a learning curve. Okay, I would say like this: in the beginning, you're not listening. There's like, if listening to your body is this much of the equation, outside information is this much. And it'll change as you go on, as you learn more and more, and as you've done this, and as your body is processing this, and you feel it yourself. Like I always talk about, I am my own scientific experiment. You will be yours. It'll get a little bit more. Then you'll start relying on this much intuition or how your body feels, and only this much of information. But anyhow, so where do you get your information? I always recommend to any of you guys out there that are new to this lifestyle, get the basics. You've got to get the basics before you try to get into all this complicated stuff. I see people I've dropped out, but I remember some of the groups I was in, and I see people that are beginners and in topics and in things that are just way over their head. They're splitting hairs. They're talking about and trying to do things that they might possibly do or not, you know, 2 or 3 years into their journey. But you want to get those basics down first. And where do you learn those basics? As I've said many times, like most of my basics, and when I'm going for the science and understanding of this plant-based lifestyle and how it affects our health, I don't tend to go to many of the fully raw people. I go to people like, you know, I'm like, one I would always recommend as a start, read the China study. That's just, like I say, that's where I started just kind of getting the big picture, a mentality on this plant-based lifestyle. It won't be the end-all be-all. I know a lot of people critique the China study, but big picture, that kind of gets you going. I watch people like Dr. Greger, nutrition101.org, I believe it is. He's got a lot of good stuff. Who else? Let me check my notes here. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. Even though I don't do starch solution and I don't eat starches very often, except when I'm in the States, Dr. McDougall, who did the starch solution. People that are not, you know, that aren't doctors or huge authority figures that I also watch, is also like 80-10-10 athlete, Jay. And I watch their channel. His website's Thriving Plant-Based. But one thing I like about him too is he watches a lot of these same people, and he does a lot of stuff that I like, and I kind of like that approach, and it's what I consider curating content, and it's sharing some of these good sources. Now, as far as sharing sources go, I had a little note down. I just wanted to mention this, and sometimes you can use this like by what I found out. I was getting ready to either do a video or I was working on a blog post one day, and it was something on B12 supplementation or something a little bit more deep that I didn't, I wanted to get to the science, and I was looking at some different guys, Don Bennett and some real experts, and I'm trying to make my notes and summarize all that, and then I'm like, why? Okay, these guys have done it. Somebody else that has done something for 20 plus years, they're pretty much an expert, really know what they're talking about backwards and forwards. Why do you want to watch my kind of shaky version of it with notes and maybe my mild grasp of understanding of it when you can go straight to the source and watch it yourself? Another great one, Brenda Davis. She wrote Becoming Vegan, and she also wrote Becoming Raw. Those are the kind of places where I get my information and I get my real knowledge of this lifestyle. I can apply the raw part of it. I don't need the raw people. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't need many of the raw people. I like watching Candy Raw. I've gotten a lot from her because of her approach and her kind of non-judgmental, not always having to be, it's got to be raw, 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 raw. She's just kind of giving you the facts. But what I'm getting at is I need the professionals. I need the people, the real people, to give me an understanding of the science of what's going on, of the big picture, and I can work out the raw part of it. I need to learn more about the plant-based, but the raw part of it, I can work that out on my own. So that's just my little thing for today. When you're getting into this lifestyle, as I said the other day, it's very important your resources. It's very important the people you're watching. It's very important the groups that you're getting involved with. Especially in the beginning, try to stay away from the radical and the extreme. You can decide. Listen, I'm not telling you how far to go, and I'm not talking about like how far you will eventually go. I'm talking about you as a beginner. You may get into things down the road, what I'm calling deeper and extreme right now, which are not extreme for everybody, and they're not extreme under all circumstances. It's just that you've got to know what you're ready for at your phase of the journey. And there's a progression of it, and if you will be patient, get the information, do the work, and progress down the path, you're going to get there. Anyhow, like I say, all these videos that I do, I just kind of try to, I never want to come from an approach like this is the way you've got to do it. Like I say, I just like to observe people, and I kind of like the approach that I do in other people, because I'm not telling you what to do. It's just kind of like I say, just observe. This is how I'm eating. This is what I'm doing. Maybe it's working for me, maybe it's not, and that's in your opinion. Maybe I like how it's working for me, somebody else likes how it's working for me. You might not be looking exactly for my type of results, or you might not think I'm getting the results. That's cool. Like I say, I'm just showing you what I'm doing, and you can take your results based on that. Anyhow, hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. If you like this one, please give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel. Share these around every once in a while. I should say share, because and to other YouTubers out there, I love the comments, and I like likes, and I like all that kind of stuff. But as far as your algorithms go, sharing videos and sharing any content always gets you the most bang. So give me a share every once in a while. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Peace.